Now it's time for On Point, where we speak to experts to delve deeper into the biggest news stories in the spotlight right now. It's almost mid-December, and after a few weeks of reasonably mild weather, we are expecting the coldest temperatures of the season so far to hit South Korea in the coming days. The mercury could drop so low next Monday that icy morning and evening commutes are on the cards. The chilly temperatures will stick around as well as we head into the end-of-year festivities. So it's almost time that we all go and unpack our heavy-duty winter gear and properly bundle up when we go outside.
Right. And making it even more uncomfortable with gusty winds, the wind chill will make it feel much more colder. For more on weather trends and what we have been seeing in Korea lately, we connect to Yeh Sang-wook, Professor of Marine Science and Convergence Engineering at Hanyang University. Good morning, Professor.
Good morning.
Now, firstly, we must keep in mind that this is mid-December and Korea's winters are notoriously cold, but are we expecting to see an even longer and colder winter than normal this season?
Well, this week actually is a little bit warmer than the normal, but according to the Korean Meteorological Administrations, this next week actually will be colder than normal. Also, according to the seasonal mean prediction in this coming winter, the Korean winter time temperatures will be colder than normal. So there are several factors which affect to Korean winter temperature. Is that one of them is the sea surface temperature condition in the tropical Pacifics. This currently is the sea surface temperature condition in the tropical Pacific is colder than normal, so which we refer to the La Nina. So we expect the La Nina will continue in this coming winter. So if we La Nina continue to winter, the Siberian high will be stronger than normal. So that actually caused a colder temperature in East Asia, including the South Korea. So I also expect that this winter, the temperatures will be colder than normal.
Yeah, it's that wind that comes down from Siberia that is really brutal. But generally when we get hit by periods of either intense cold in the winter or blazing hot heat waves in the summer, a lot of people point the finger to climate change. Now, what evidence do we have that these extreme weather patterns are caused by that? And do you agree with the overwhelming sentiment among scientists that climate change is a direct result of human activity?
Well, I'm the 100% sure that the global warming or climate change is caused by the human activity, because the one of the species leading to the global warming is the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So since the last 1960, the concentration of the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is rapidly increasing. So that actually can cause the global warming through the we call the greenhouse effect. So actually, we cannot explain that without the increased human activities, the carbon dioxide concentration is increasing like these situations. And also regarding the extreme event like the cold winter or heat wave in summer, it is a bit difficult problem to answer that. But the global warming actually can cause the change the boundary condition on the Earth, like the warming of the sea surface temperature or sea ice loss, the reduction of the snow cover, or the vegetation, something like that. So that caused actually the change of the atmospheric circulation, which affect or which lead to a frequent occurrence of the extreme event, like the heat wave or the cold surge you mentioned.
And Professor, turning our attention back to South Korea, if we look back to previous winters in the nation over the past 50 to 100 years, does the data show that winters in South Korea are becoming not only noticeably colder, like you said, but they also come earlier and seem to last even longer?
Well, when we look at the long-term period data set, like 50 years, the 100 years, the Korean wintertime temperature is slightly increasing right now, but it is not significant. But the period of the Korean wintertime becomes shorter. So in the previous time, the longest period of the season in Korea was the winter, but now the longest season of the Korean season is the summer. It's not the winter. So the Korean winter time period becomes shorter, but the temperature is slightly increasing, but it is not significant. But I want to emphasize that during winter time, the variability of the Korean wintertime temperatures becomes larger. So we actually needed to, understand what caused such a huge variability of the Korean wintertime temperature, but it is not yet clear.
Yeah, maybe just because it's so cold that we just imagine that it's longer than it actually is. But it certainly seems the case that summer's getting longer because spring and fall seem to last next to no time at all. It feels like, anyway. But finally, South Korea takes all these measures to try and prevent long periods of hazardous fine dust that really blights the country around this time of the year, unfortunately. Do you think these measures go far enough, things like restricting certain types of vehicles and closing coal power plants? And if not, what else could be done at the national level, at least, to try and lessen the effect of air pollution during the winter?
Well, I think that the Korean government actually is trying to do their best to reduce the emission or to solve the air pollution problem during the winter time, but it is not enough by the Korean government effort only, because the air pollution problem is not limited in the Korean itself. I mean, the air pollution actually, much part of the air pollution comes from the China and the eastern part of the western part of the Korean peninsula. So therefore, if we want to reduce the air pollution emission or air pollution concentration in Korea, the Korean government actually make an effort to talk with Chinese scientists or Chinese government to reduce the air pollution originated from the China. And also the Korean government actually needed to, more pay attention to the predict or forecast or to understand what caused the air pollution problem or air pollution concentration in Korea.
All right. Professor Yeh, thank you so much for coming on. We hope you stay warm and have a good weekend.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.